generalized neuroplastic change, where you plug in the brain time after and you get a much better result. It has a name. It's called sensory enrichment. And sensory enrichment is a subset of a thing called environmental enrichment. In the late 1940s, a long time ago, what is that, 50, 27, more than 70 years ago, there's this Canadian researcher, last name Hebb, H-E-B-B. And he worked with rodents, rats, basically. And what he did is same genetic strain, same rats, same food, same everything. The only difference is one environment was very boring, one environment was very rich. And what he noted was the behavior became distinctly different. The rats living in the boring environment, exact same genetic species, same food, became discontent, more aggressive. Their fur started to look more like, raggedy. And then the other ones were living quite a happy, pleasant life. They looked really good, and they were playing around a lot. They were having consensual sex instead of aggressive sex. And it's, wow. And then, in the terminology, they sacrificed them after, opened up their head, and looked at the brains, and the brains of the boring environment, they were kind of shriveled and small. And the others were big and actually had expansive growth in certain areas. It's like, oh my God. This is actually first evidence of neuroplasticity. But it wasn't accepted at that time. So for a long period of time, this was called Hebbian, because his name is Hebb, H-E-B-B. It was called Hebbian learning. Today we call it neuroplasticity. So sensory enrichment actually promotes impressive, not only behavior positive experiences, but also the brain physically changes, and the only thing difference is whether the senses are experiencing an enriched source or not. So when you want to create sensory enrichment, there's a method. 5 things. If you do these 5 things, rather predictably, you're going to have generalized neuroplastic stimulation and growth. Number 1. You with me? Okay. Number 1. You combine 2 of the senses at the same time, simultaneously 2 of the senses. These days, there's a lot of fascinating stuff looking at either autism or even dementia, and they'll combine touch and smell. Touch and smell, 2 different, combined simultaneously. We use light and sound. The second thing, and this is really quite important, that the experience generated should be unique, uncommon. It's not something that you normally experience. Because right now you experience light and sound because you hear me and you see me. So that's common, it won't work. But the combination should create like a, wow, this is different kind of a feeling. Combine 2 senses, they should be unique in their expression, uncommon. The third thing, the person should be free from distraction. So the experience should be more confined and not disturbed by distractions. 2 senses, unique and uncommon, free of distraction. The fourth thing is the person should not be forced to do it. They do it of their own free will. They're willing to do it. They accept it. It isn't forced upon them. 2 senses, unique, free of distractions, free will. The last one, can you guess what it is? Enjoyment. It should be enjoyable, if possible, even kind of entertaining. If you put these 5 things together, which is precisely the design on the neurovisor, of course, what you get is a predictable, positive, general neuroplastic trigger in the brain, so that whatever follows that is going to make a strong impression and likely to produce the probability state. So this idea of targeted change, general change, there are methods. Not to say there aren't other methods, but these are core.